Hello and welcome UP2GIVE family, community, and if those of you who are guests for the very first time who've been invited to listen to this presentation, I personally want to extend a very warm thank you for allowing me to take this time out of your day to share the UP2GIVE vision, the mission of UP2GIVE, and the model by which UP2GIVE will, in my opinion, help to solve some very targeted global problems through our ecosystem and our community. And I hope that this video resonates with you and that some of the things that I say aligns with who you are as a person and potentially become a member of the UP2GIVE community. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. The vision at UP2GIVE. At UP2GIVE, we have a strong moral, integral, and purpose-driven mission to change lives around the world through our ecosystem. We focus on 4 core, which is the heart of the company. These are the core pillars that we're focused on: philanthropy, education, banking, and personal causes. Through our philanthropy aspect of it, we are focusing on creating a culture of worldwide giving and contributing. It always feels good when you can do good and help someone out. That's just the natural buzz. And so that is one of the foundational pillars of the community. The second aspect is education. We reward those who give while teaching them the value behind growing personally. This is something I feel has always been cliche when other companies that state that they have education that could help people. UP2GIVE, there was an exciting announcement about a week ago with them partnering with STI, Success Training Institute, who happens to be an accredited program for a number of years out of Texas in the United States. And now we get to teach people from home on their free time, spare time, the type of education that will help them advance personally while they're going and contributing and receiving within the ecosystem. Then we have banking. One of our goals is to bank the unbanked through our giving aspect of it. And being a part of the blockchain and the Bitcoin economy since 2012, I'm really excited that this model has incorporated that level of transparency through the banking portion of it, because now people don't even have to go into a bank. They can just download a Bitcoin wallet and then from there, they can participate in and be a part of the economy to be able to contribute to other people's causes and then also to receive for their causes. And last but not least, and my favorite, if you have not been in marketing and advertising, then you might not know how expensive it can be to get your message out there. Providing this type of layered ecosystem within the UP2GIVE community, and because the target focus is on our personal causes, right, we are going to create a social revolution of stories and testimonials with people whose needs have been met through the UP2GIVE community. When people's problems or their causes that they're putting out as a member is shared with other people, once their causes start to take shape and they feel like they're have a little bit more sustainability, or they feel like they're more in a purpose-driven place, then that's what's going to be shared with the world through our ecosystem, and then also on the company's channels, in the social channels as well. And so having that type of exposure, it gets me really excited because I'm already a social influencer. Like, I feel the need for people to understand philanthropy, education, how the banking system works, and then also how to put themselves in a better sustain themselves, right? And so I really believe through this model, this is why I'm going to continue to share UP2GIVE with new people, and people that I've known, and grow the ecosystem, because I realize there's a lot of people that I know that still need help in the world. They just have to know how to understand how they can get through and do it. And I want to be that person that helps them. So we have built a model where people from around the world can come together, get educated, banked and skilled on principles of philanthropy and EQ, or emotional intelligence, while creating a culture of global giving. When people start to look at things a little bit differently, when their focus becomes on, hey, I've been able to contribute $50,000 instead of just earn $50,000, it tells you how the shape of their mind is going back and looking out for the well-being, right? Is philanthropy. And so we're different in the sense that that is becoming our focus, not what you guys are going to see with the giving box. Yes, you're going to want to take separate training to understand and dive into this. If you're really going to get it and you really want to help people, then naturally you're going to keep on going and talking to people and finding out why and what do they need help with. So during the education process, we will be teaching members how to utilize one of our toolboxes for giving called the giving box. This will allow us to fulfill the purpose of our core principles, as well as help contribute to the stories being shared in our community to engage the social revolution of our culture. Now, how does someone get educated in our ecosystem? Like I said before, there's often times that you do get education, but are those the necessary educations that people need at that specific time where they are going to become personally developed? And typically the answer is no. So as a member of the community, whether you decide to go into the giving box or you just decide to be and stay a member of the community, you can continue to educate yourself from anywhere in the world by logging into your dashboard as a member. And this is some of the training courses that you get: personal development, professional development, positive mindset, emotional development, and entrepreneurship. Had I not experienced this type of stuff and studied myself, I wouldn't be recommending this for you guys. And you have to understand, these are accredited courses. For what we pay as a member, our $32 membership allows us, again, if we're at the beach, if we're at the airport, if we're at home, to just log in anytime, 24 hours a day, and become better. Start to, like Jerry said, self-automate this educational process. And this is what I've done since I've left, the 40 by 40 by 40 mindset and came into entrepreneurship. And I'm so glad that I have. All right. So this model, when the owners looked at how to develop this strategically, they looked at different statistical analytics and data, which said, hey, these are the major causes, these are the major things that we have to look at statistically to help people really round out why we're doing it this way. And education was one of them. And here's a statistic that really floored me when I heard it. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development found that 50% of US adults can't read a book written at an 8th grade level. Lack of formal education results in lower earning power and serious threats to an individual's long-term well-being. I have been a proponent of self-education, personal development, self-development for as long as I was. If that's anything that I took away with network marketing into all the things that I've evolved into, it is that taking the time to educate yourself, because when you stop going to college, you're starting to focus on career, and that time is allocated through there. But now I'm about to be 40 in about a month. And when I go back and I reassess and I evaluate what's happened to the masses, the educational part of it, the rich has taught their kids to be rich, but the poor does not yet know how to teach their poor kids how to become rich. So I was born poor, but I've evolved from that because I've taken different types and styles of education and implemented on my ongoing basis and my personal life, and I do it every single day. And if most people in America can't read at an 8th grade level, that means they have to do something different. So now they have to go back to, how do we connect with people? What is the type of education that we need? How do I have personal development so I don't feel like I'm not confident enough myself to go back and talk to other people and connect with humanity? Which brings us to the next part of it, which is banking. Because most people who lack education also lack financial well-being. And if you don't have financial well-being, then you're continually in stress. If you're not making more income and you don't have multiple streams of income, then you're probably feeling more stress. You probably aren't keeping up with your bills. You're probably not, in a position where you have more money. And this is another thing that a lot of people in the world, a majority, because of the inequality of education for the masses, has not been available to the masses like it is today, because technology is changing stuff. And with the banking system, Bitcoin is something that solved for a problem that the banking system was having and people were having. And you can download a Bitcoin wallet for free right now and you can start experiencing what it is like to transfer money. And a lot of us have moved away from the banking world and really, are passionate about cryptocurrency because of what it's done for us. And so if we can acquire more customers, right, acquire more memberships, acquire more people who are opening up more wallets, then we're expanding the model and allowing for that freedom to be able to pass along globally through the way that we've set up the giving box. Now, the next part of it is health. Currently, nearly 1 billion people spend 10% of their household income or more on health expenses for themselves, a sick child, or another family member. The report argues that universal health care would be better to solve the issue across the planet, on which some 3.8 billion people lack access to basic health care. This right here, I mean, this is a very large number. And again, most people aren't prepared financially to go ahead and make sure they can facilitate this long term. They're usually having to go get more jobs. They're usually having to go spend more time somewhere else away from their families, and 10% of a person's household income is a lot of money monthly over the term of time that it takes. And healthcare, if it's cancer, if it's leukemia, if it's some of these things that, are very expensive, even though you love somebody, it becomes, again, stressful. The last thing that we're going to talk about is housing. Currently, over 850 million people, more than the populations of the US and the European Union combined, are living in informal settlements. According to the Global Housing Statistic, the number can surpass 1 billion people nearing the end of 2020. Now, I want to remind you, we are in the beginning. We are in January currently. This video is being made of 2020. It doesn't surprise me that that number is going to go up because, again, there is an inequality to the amount of wealth that the normal person has compared to the amount of wealth that the 1% has. Now, what do we have to do to change that? We have to change the perceptions, the mindset, the consciousness. We have to go out and utilize this technology, this vision, sharing this information with other people that know that they have to do something differently, and we have to make it affordable for them, and we have to make it valuable for them, and we have to make it something that's going to resonate with them, because we know that everything that happens in life when we connect with human beings is peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer. It's peer-to-peer. To build communities in anything that we do, we build networks of people and communities that get together, that share the same vision, the same mission, and the same behavior patterns that will expand these concepts and build awareness around the world. So what is our ultimate goal? Simply to empower you and people around the world to contribute towards anyone's cause in our ecosystem, whether it's to help you achieve a goal that helps someone in your family, your church, your country, your community. It doesn't matter how big or small that vision or mission is. We will bring the nations together to help support those causes. And with our model being a model of philanthropy, that is how we're leading. We are not leading with money. Okay? We are confident that the UP2GIVE family will be there for you, and that UP2GIVE is a global correlation movement. Now, what is a global correlation movement? One of the things that you can do right away is to start, if you don't understand some of these words, I always tell my mom, Google it. Go to the dictionary and look up the word correlation. Okay? But you want to be a part of a movement. I want to be a part of a movement that extends all of this information that, this model has to offer to people. And I want to share the message in a way that it's going to have continually positive exponential growth. So what do? I know that I have to go peer-to-peer to other people. I know that I want to introduce people and share this mission with other people who share the same mission. So I do, and I'm okay with that. And I know that I want to help more people than the average person, but I also want to encourage the average person to be able to be in a position to help more people. And the only way that you can do that is really to get started. So if you go to up2give.com and somebody introduced you to it, you can put their sponsor ID number and you can get started. Or the way that I do it is I go and share my referral link with other people. And because it's me they get started, right? And when they do, they set up an account. And then if they're not in Bitcoin, then you have to make yourself aware that you need to go ahead and download a Bitcoin wallet, whatever one that you prefer. I have my own preferred wallets. And then once you have your back office, you're going to load your Bitcoin wallet up, because that is where you contribute from, and that is also where you receive. And then from there, you're going to make sure that you create your story. Each and every single one of us, if we don't have a sustainable lifestyle, we could be our own story. So sit down and think about that. What is your story that you could help with? Or where is somebody else that you want to help with? Find the heart in you, and then also realize that if you are not sustainable in yourself right now financially, and you don't have that type of well-being, it's okay if you are your own cause. Remember that, because you can change your causes at any time. All right, so how should the sign up process and experience work? Well, Maria signed up in California. She shares her link with John. The moment that John clicks on her link, the first thing he will see is her story. Once John reads her story, at the end of the message, a pop-up saying, John would you like to be a part of Maria's journey? Click here. Once John clicks to join, the system will take him through a registration page where he can add his basic information. Now, John becomes a free member by setting his basic information up. And, he saw Maria's cause, and usually what you're going to share your cause with people that you know. And there's a methodology to why we share it with people we know, especially people that care about us, right? Because maybe they have the ability or the capacity to be a part of your cause. But you can also help them have their own cause. So now that John has done that, he's put in his basic information, and he now has 15 days in UP2GIVE community for free. It means that he can experience the back office and the ecosystem. John can take the sample courses we have available in the UP2GIVE Academy portal, powered by the Success Training Institute. John has enough time to decide whether he wants to become a member or contribute to Maria's cause. And he has that option to simply contribute and not to join the community. Or if John decides that he wants to be a part of Maria's journey and does that before the 15th day at midnight Pacific Standard Time, he chooses to become a member and pays the $32 monthly fee in Bitcoin for your activation of his education program at UP2GIVE. He gets to create his own story. He has a user link. And the moment he contributes to Maria's cause during that same period of time, he becomes a ground zero member of the Giving Box. So now the beautiful thing is, what happened is, it was a very natural process for John. John wanted to become a member. He understands a little bit more about how the UP2GIVE membership works just for himself. He realizes that he gets to be a part of the Success Training Institute. He gets into the communities where we are. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, right? There are certain communities that we're a part of. And then he can get on some of the Zoom presentations. He can be proactive. He can write down notes if he wants to grow the community and understand a little bit more. But he really wants to do something good for Maria, and he decides to contribute to her cause. That is where the giving, you give first, and contributions can start to come back. So what do you need to do after the contribution happens? Pretty much nothing. The entire process of validating transactions is automatic. Once you make the contribution, everything is automated and verified according to the time frame of the blockchain transaction portal. Now, what does this mean? We know that there's 99% of the world who's not going to know this, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of nuggets. The blockchain confirms the transactions and verifies it. That's why we're utilizing Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain distribution system. This allows UP2GIVE the opportunity to validate that you have effectively contributed to someone's cause. While it's validated, UP2GIVE adds the transaction to your reward goals, which goes back to your wallet peer-to-peer. All right. So how does contributing work? Now, you guys, if you can understand already, I want to kind of like just break it up really quickly. For me, $32 a month as a proactive member in the UP2GIVE community, I feel like even if people don't understand very in the beginning to get into the contribution side of the network, right? That is a huge value. it's just a huge value for you to be able to personally develop at $32 a month by an accredited system in accredited courses, accredited as an adult. That speaks volumes to us helping rechange and become different. Now, how does the contributing work? I'm going to spend some time on this, but more importantly, in the future, we're going to spend time on forums, breaking this down and answering people's questions. I'm like a type of person who wants people to have clarity and to be able to provide answers to people. And so I feel like that should be dissected a little bit more on a different video, but I am still going to walk through all the words and the dialogue on top of the words, which is what we should be doing and studying anyway. Okay. So John has contributed to Maria's cause 0.005 Bitcoin. He followed all the steps and now he shares his story. And typically you're going to share your story with people that you know. So John shares his story with Jorge and Rita. And Jorge and Rita, they have the same experience. Okay, so Jorge and Rita read John's story and now decides to become a member of the community and then contribute, or vice versa. But that is the way that I would recommend it. All right. And so now they each contribute 0.005 to John's cause. Perfect. They are now contributing to someone they know, which is usually how people want to help each other. And now John has 0.010 Bitcoin from his first through contributions and UP2GIVE. This is considered John's level 1. Now, what happens then is John's going to hold that 0.01, and then he's going to contribute that to UP2GIVE is going to choose to continue paying it forward. And this is done by the system algorithm, which will allow John to start receiving contributions from his level 1 givers, Jorge and Rita. Okay, so now John is in the plus. He is moving forward. He has shared the UP2GIVE, model with John and Rita, and John and Rita also have causes that they want to figure out how they can, benefit from. So how does the giving box look long term? As you become more involved in UP2GIVE, the potential to change many lives around the world becomes more and more likely to change your life as well. And this is how the contribution box works. So to leave ground zero, so let's just talk about this. Level ground zero, you contribute 0.005 to whoever's cause. Whatever it says, just that's what you're contributing it to. Then you have 2 givers giving to your cause. So you'll receive 0.010. Transactions receive 2. Why? Because you have 2 givers. Your contributions given back to the next level of advancement, 0, and your total contributions in the wallet, 0.01. Okay, so that's just the basic. That's ground zero. We want to level people up. And in order to level people up and qualify through the giving box, to qualify and move into level 1, you must share your link, your personalized link, with 2 individuals who directly contribute to you, who directly sign up through your link, and they contribute 0.005 to your cause and become a member. It is important to know that the community contributions do not count towards your qualification. So what does that mean? The giving box, there is overflow as people grow and expand the network that are not directly tied to you. So that does not mean that if you see people when you log into your dashboard, once you've left the giving box, that fall underneath you in your organization, it does not mean that they are directly tied to you. So that means that those people are not utilized in that qualification. So you have to go out and share this with at least 2 people. Now I'm sharing it with more than, I've already shared it with over 100 people, if that gives you an indication about where I believe the direction of this is going. So when you get to level 1, which is you have 2 people that are direct to you and you've received 0.10 in contributions, you are going to, on level 2, give that 0.01 to a contribution that the system's going to automate, and then you're going to start receiving level 2 contributions, and there are 4 of them. You'll receive 3 directly to your wallet, and then the contributions from the giving back to the next level advancement in the transit wallet will be 0.01. Guys, don't worry about these things if you're not going to learn the giving box right away on day 1. The idea is to stay focused on going and doing the power of 2, and we'll talk about that a little bit further. And so and the 3 contributions to your wallet are coming from 3 different contributions to your wallet. Okay, on level 3, you have to contribute to a cause. Again, just be ready to contribute to these numbers that are listed here and ready for you to go. Okay, I'm not going to go into a full detail of this part. I'd like to do that separately on a different one. I feel like our level of understanding for everybody, a really good goal for the average person is to get to level 4. And that is just the way that I feel is the best way to get people moving through the leveling up of the giving box, which means focus on getting, the power of 2 through, those people in enough levels to get to level 4. And that to me will be life changing. So how does the giving box works long term? Again, you can stop the video. You can sit here and try to continue to go through. You can see the amount of, contributions and all of this stuff that you see. I don't want anyone to get too hung up on behind this. But what I do know is that at the end of the month, each cycle, the company has a protocol that they're using to receive 2 contributions of 0.005 if at the end of the month, the cycle without contributions, first month only. So they're letting you layer this. The system will reset itself at the end of each month cycle, and everyone starts off at ground zero again, which is a really good thing. We do not want our membership base becoming stagnant. And that's usually what happens when people start to focus on trying to explain the math to other people instead of just putting in the work, like going out and sharing the message with other people and then logging in and making sure you're moving people through the system. So the system again will reset itself at the end of each month cycle, and everyone starts off at ground zero again. You will have 6 days to go through the contributions of each level to be back at where you were off at the previous month. Now, there are some of us who are already on level 4, which means that we're going to pay very close attention. And people on the ground zero on level 1, you should pay very close attention as well, because your goal is to give and receive more through the giving box. All right. So if you're already at level 4, the last thing that you're going to do as you're running this as a business is to give up on level 4 because you have to start over again. It's actually not that hard to make 5 contributions or 4 contributions to be right back where you were at and to pay attention, because that is really important. So what is important to know about the giving box functions of the giving box? So you contribute to a cause the amount the system tells you based on the performance of you and your team on the previous level. You will notice that in your dashboard that as you get closer to the next level, that will open, which is an indication that you are almost there. That does not indicate that you should give to the next level unless someone in your team is about to get there before you. Please pay the exact amount that the system tells you to do after any fees. Some wallets do not calculate the fees for you, which can result in contributing in the incorrect amount, and the system will not recognize you as a contributor. You are not going to understand the dynamics of the giving box in day 1. That is why we encourage you to see our Giving Box training Zoom conference, and once you're a member, visit our back office resource library and our official Telegram page to receive the FAQ sheet, which can help you and our development team answer the question that you may have. Guys, this is powerful. So don't get frustrated. Don't get, just stay engaged. Participate. Take the first 90 days to engage yourself and become proficient as soon as you become a member, and figure out how you can move through the levels. Now, that's how you can participate. The next step is everyone wants to know, well, what is the company giving? What's happening for the community? The company takes in $32 a month. What are they doing? Well, they are a real business model. And they have other features that as you're going through the levels, they are rewarding you for leveling up through the giving box area, right? And it's important that we understand that even though you might not understand how the company is breaking up the percentages of the $32, that is not what you have to worry about. What you have to worry about is really nothing if you are maintaining your membership, qualifying through the levels, performing accurately, staying on track, and then they're going to make usability, like the banking aspect of it. As you're earning, you want to be able to liquidate your Bitcoin. And if you don't know how, one of a great feature to have is a debit card. They have to show you guys how to do that. Many of the masses of people aren't going to be ready for that, but there are many of you right now who know the value of that. So you are going to get a card. So the more people who contribute to each other, the more that UP2GIVE will contribute back. Our contributing happens in levels. On level 3, when a person completes level 3 in the giving box, UP2GIVE gives a debit card to the user so that they can start monetizing that Bitcoin. They have been given through our ecosystem. With this step of philanthropy, we will start to help change the banking crisis in the world. There are so many people who lack the opportunity to own a debit card. Also, we will make this service available for a purchase if the user does not wish to wait to receive it for free for a small setup fee. I think that this is amazing. I know how that's going to help a lot of people. I'm excited to get mine. I'm not rushing them. I just know that as long as I continue to go through the levels, as I'm preparing to spend on that debit card, I continue to accumulate my Bitcoin. How does the UP2GIVE back again? The more people who contribute to each other, the more we will contribute back. Our contributing happens in levels. So on level 4, when you complete level 4, you will have the option of choosing from 12 different cause-driven programs. Once you have made the choice, you will follow the steps given in your back office, and a liaison will be assigned to you, and you will work together for approximately 45 days to create a story out of the cause, which we will then go viral with it. UP2GIVE will contribute on your behalf for reaching level 4, a maximum of $1,500 to the cause fulfilling our social revolution, part of our 4 pillars. This is amazing. This is amazing. If you don't see how amazing this is, they're actually going to show you with a liaison how to set these things up correctly so that you can continue to move forward, doing philanthropical work, but also knowing of how to get these things set up. And we know it's going to take time, but you have a liaison. That's really important. Okay. Then at level 5, when a person reaches level 5 of the giving, UP2GIVE rewards them with an all-expense paid trip to a recognition event where top speakers from around the world come out to teach about leadership, philanthropy, finance, personal development, and charitable causes. Also, after achieving the event award, you will have the option of 12 major causes to contribute to at this level. What this is saying to me is those people who are leading the way and getting started and growing the community, we know that the more that we receive, that we are going to already automatically down the road contribute more back to more things. If you don't understand this and you don't understand why you wouldn't feel good about this, you might give up. But there's many of us who are coming on board who understand and see the big picture of how to navigate this through the world and share this and to be excited about it. So the more people who contribute to each other, again, is the message, the more we will contribute back. Our contribution happens in levels, and at level 6, when you reach level 6, UP2GIVE requires you to give 12.5% back to the community in the ecosystem. So they're saying that if I get to level 6, that I have to already prepare my mind to give back 12.5% of what I have received through the ecosystem. Guys, I do not feel bad about that at all. Because I know in order to stimulate the economy, that it has to come from somewhere, and it has to adjust, and minds will adjust from the people who are living and influencing and being the examples of the causes that we are giving back to. Why not? And it has to be some of our people in our ecosystem as well. Why not? The transit wallet system will direct a 12.5% toward every new ground zero person with no contributions to assure everyone meets their goals. And at level 6 in the giving box is the most important and critical level due to the amount of contributions given to your cause. We will require the user to be walking hand in hand with UP2GIVE founding team to ensure that we are maximizing your giving potential. Oh, I feel good. I feel good. I feel good about sharing this presentation after reading that. So how does UP2GIVE strive to be compliant? Well, I've heard the names who are behind the compliance team. I feel very comfortable with some of the legal team that has been, involved thus far. UP2GIVE does not touch the Bitcoins of any user in UP2GIVE, giving this peer-to-peer wallet-to-wallet system. They are only asking for a $32 contribution a month in Bitcoin so that they can operate the company and function. And you've seen what you're getting back as a member. You've seen it. You've seen all of these things that I've read out loud, and I'm already experiencing it up to level 4. So I know if I get to level 6, I'm going to be experiencing more of why I joined UP2GIVE, right? And then UP2GIVE is a major contributor in collective causes. This is not a money game. Each and every single one of our causes that we create for our families or for people that we know or projects that we want to help, that is a huge thing. And that number 3, UP2GIVE is a giving model that even for nonprofit identities such as churches is presented as a revolution of offerings in the ministry, and the more they give to each other, the more that they receive. That's the beautiful thing about figuring out how to get things set up correctly. You have to do kind of like the legal groundwork to be able to make these statements on the legal team's compliance on this video, right? All the words that I'm reading out loud to you guys. And so, we want to recap. What do you receive? What do you receive for $32 a month? Why would you not want to become a member at $32 a month when all of this stuff probably resonates with you? So number 1 is, does it make sense? Number 2, can I do it? Right? And number 3, is it aligned? Is it aligned with who you are? Is it worth my time? And for me, I can say yes to those 3 questions based on my own personal assessment, my own personal proactive involvement, and I will willingly pay the $32 a month to have an entire ecosystem that will allow me to share my story to the world through our UP2GIVE blog. At $32, I feel that that's great value to access our global education community at the UP2GIVE Academy, powered by the Success Training Institute. I believe that $32 is access to the giving box, which allows me to contribute first to other people's causes and be a part of our community blog that's going to cause a social revolution of stories that are inspired by members' philanthropical culture and not their money-driven message, and cause, a very big movement in testimonials and stories of people really receiving the benefits of this model. And the rewards. You get rewarded for giving back to a community and their causes, which is allowing UP2GIVE to partner with you and create stories of your own when you start reaching level 4 and above. Just powerful. Just powerful. So if you see that this is something that is, what resonates with you, what makes us different, we are creating a revolution of giving around the world, one person at a time. We've defined our focus on providing education, banking, and health solutions through our cause-driven programs. We strive for people's stories to be heard, and answers are given through our platform. Our peer-to-peer Bitcoin ecosystem is transparent and driven by integral leadership and principles. And philanthropy is our core. Changing lives is our mission. And UP2GIVE, again, is a global correlation movement. So you guys, if you feel like this resonated with you, and I want to thank you for taking the last 40 minutes of your time for allowing me to share where UP2GIVE has resonated with me. And I want to help people. My why is, how can I help more people with their causes, which means I have to get connected and really, going out and finding out how I can help other people. What is their why? What could they get help with? How could I help them with their causes? I'm going to do that. I know a lot of people that still need help today. And if there's something that's going to empower them and I can teach them and show them how, because I'm going through the motions and I'm committed to doing what I need to do to help, grow people into leaders instead of just followers, and build people to be consciously conscious and how to talk about these things, and to show proof, a lifestyle change, a mindset change. I've done it with tens of thousands of people around the world, and this is no different. It's just going to get better because the timing is right. And the message for me is something that I would love to bring to the world. So with that, you guys, thank you. I want to send blessings to all of you. Again, thank you for those of you who are already participating in the UP2GIVE community. We hope those of you who are new join with us and continue to grow this correlation movement and send the right message to people on the internet. Aloha and God bless.